keep her that beer?
God. Why?
Such rare. I'm Godwin.
Peace.
How do you...
It's and we. I'm and
Who would... Why did we have...
because and
Are you...
the situation. You have not.
You don't even...
You...
Henry.
You...
That would be...
I reckon the two of you would hit it off. Very...
Wait, from Sky...
Aye.
And maybe...
And
why?
Don't at least... He... Henry...
I don't...
That boys
A person...
Enough.
for the
Good health.
L'chaim.
I'm glad to finally accept my invitation.
Good he...
Baron, I am a...
My word.
Mais non!
It's a pleasure. How come...
I am migrate there.
Where have you been?
But if you are, and if you are...
And you wouldn't...
Which one do...
You say you're a...
Jamais, I think...
How did you end up imprisoned in Malashov?
Ah, and only lot...
That needs some explanation.
Oh,
So...
when they broke...
Oh.
My neck was... But they never...
Dear friends and allies, in these troublesome times, you all know why we're here. The question remains, what to do next? Sigismund is facing troubles in Hungary, and here too, he is up against resistance. He's a capable strategist, but a poor diplomat. Mark my words. If we wait him out until winter, he will leave of his own accord.
By winter, he'll have torched all our fortresses and carried off everything that we possess.
Are we seriously gonna wait and cower in a corner? Or are we gonna drive them out in shame? A few well-planned raids and we could have him in our fists!
At what price? Have you got men to spare? Has any of you got men and money to spare?
We don't have men out there.
Yes, we do.
We do not.
Jobst is right. That whole sun won't fall easily.
Only we can't wait.
Are we to get ourselves killed?
Or end with nothing.
Friends, we'll get nowhere like this. Let's adjourn ourselves and try to think it through.
Well, that went just as expected. Good health.
And to yours. Could it have gone any other way when there's so many of us here?
I would have expected a bit more sense from Jobst, of all people. He made an amateur's mistake. But it's hard to be angry with him when he's trying to ingratiate himself with everyone. By the way, I'm John of Liechtenstein. And you must be Godwin, the son of...
That's not a thing I've ever boasted of. How do you know that?
I have my sources. From what I've heard about you, I'd judge you could be quite useful to me at today's gathering.
Is that so?
Indeed. And that's why I'd like to ask something of you.
It depends what it's all about.
A little delicate diplomacy. I expect we can agree that Jobst's plan has certain shortcomings?
That's a weak word.
And the way it stands at the moment, he'll never get the support of the council. But I have an idea how to change that.
Well, I'm curious how you hope to shut Zizka up and satisfy the ones who want peace.
We'll sit and wait quietly until Sigismund withdraws of his own volition, as Jobst proposes, but we'll be waiting in the military camp of our huge new army.
If Sigismund decides to mount an attack on the capital, it'd be a massacre.
Ah, but it won't. Sigismund's army is demoralized and weakened. And besides, he's running out of resources. He's able to tackle fortresses that aren't able to defend themselves, but he won't engage an equal force on the battlefield.
But he can't retreat either. That would be a disgrace.
And that's exactly why we'll wait until he's called back to Hungary by events there. For the plan to work, we need allies, their money and their determination. We've already set the ground for it. We just need negotiators who will push the right people in the right direction.
Are you saying you set everything in motion even before Jobst?
More like in parallel, but without his knowledge. If we find support and make it look like the whole thing was his idea, we'll all win.
You've got an interesting way of approaching things.
You're certainly not the first to tell me that. I take it as a compliment.
Why are you doing all this anyway?
Because I want to put a stop to the senseless deaths. And also because I'm happier with Wenceslas on the Bohemian throne.
I'll help you. What exactly should I do?
I'll give you 3 names. Bocek of Kunstadt, Haman Alder, and Anna of Waldstein. If you can get those 3 on our side, we've won the day. Meanwhile, I'll take care of Jobst.
I'll get on it then. Wish me luck.
I wish us both luck. Before the day is over, the die will be cast.
Success to our plans.
I'll tell you, nobody has the likes of these.
We could do that.
Not even Bocek?
Not even Bocek. And he's a great lord.
What? I'd like to check your horses out and see if they're as good as you say.
Pah, even better. But you won't believe it until you see for yourself.
And you might not believe your eyes when you do see them. Well, well, we have a new guest.
I wanted to...
You wanted to apologize for crashing into my home without it by your leave. Or to arrest my guests some more?
I want to have a word with Older.
Well, I'm having a word with you.
I'll talk to you later, Father. This is important.
You're in my home, so you'll talk to me first. What is it you want?
Is that your...
Unfortunately. Speak up then. What are you doing here?
I came with a delegation from Sir Hanush of Lipa.
Is this a joke?
Why so strict, Martin?
20 years ago, he was nothing but a cheeky brat, only interested in wenches and booze. I got him a place at the Archbishopry to have some sense beaten into his head. Only it wasn't long before they kicked him out. And then I find out he's settled in some backwater parish in Sassau. But he took his boozing and whoring along with him, lost everything, and then came creeping home again. Huh?
Try saying it again a little louder. They might not have heard you in the outer courtyard.
You have the impertinence to show me your face after the way you disgraced... Our whole family?
You're exaggerating. Like you've always done.
Me? Exaggerating? You're the one who turned my home into a house of ill repute. Your whores wandering around as if they owned the place.
Oh, actually, anything fun was strictly banned under your roof. But maybe you ought to try it yourself sometime. Then maybe you wouldn't be such a bitter old grouch.
You're dishonoring your host.
I can't dishonor someone who has no honor. If you had any, you'd be...
That's enough!
Christopher.
You won't get away with those insults. I challenge you to a duel.
I'm not happy about it, but I accept. This isn't how I imagined my first meeting with my brother.
Make room for us. We'll just settle a very private matter. It's an honorable duel, man against man. Stay back.
Stand firm! Otherwise the
That will
first
do.
strike will put you on your arse!
My God. Where did you learn to wield a sword like that? Father always said you were a good-for-nothing boozer. But you could teach sword fighting in a school. Jesus Christ be praised.
Oh, you know how it is. The countryside is tough. It's dog eat dog. And you ought to know yourself. Not all the faults that Father sees are real.
Aye. Well, I apologize for going off like that. I had to, so that...
So Father would be satisfied. I know. Only he'll never be satisfied. The sooner you realize that, the better.
I thought he was the way he was because his first son let him down. And he hoped at least his second would become something.
And no luck again, eh? When I was 6 years old, I fell off a horse and broke my leg. He wouldn't talk to me for a week because I'd let him down.
The first time he took me hunting, he let me starve for 3 days until I was able to shoot my first hare.
Only 3 days. He got soft.
I always wondered who you were. There was never much talk about you at home.
Look, I really did fuck up everything I could. I brawled and boozed until they threw me out of my own parish. But now, I have a chance to put things to rights a little.
And that's why you want to talk to Alder.
I've got to get him on our side and to cooperate with us.
Aren't we all on the same side?
Maybe everyone's saying that. but it's time to put it into action.
After your encounter with Father, it won't be easy to get to Alder. Actually, I don't think you should even attempt it. Unless you want to anger Father even more.
What else can I do, though?
I'll talk to him myself. He'll hear me out for sure. But you'll have to trust me. And tell me what it's all about.
All right, then. You've heard Yob's plan, right? It's a nice idea, but we can't wait around without an army to back us up.
Only no one's going to pay for one, because that would be an outright admission of rebelling against Sigismund.
Alder's got some clout with the councillors and burghers who are loyal to Sigismund. If he agrees, they'll follow.
I expect Alder's not the only one you're after.
You got that right.
Leave Alder to me. The plan sounds sensible, and he's no fool.
I don't know how to thank you.
You can drag me to a tavern sometime. Pa doesn't need to know about it.
You're starting to sound like a brother.
Greetings, friend. Good day, good day.
Greetings.
That's exactly why we mustn't push too hard.
Burgers, patricians, and usurers.
All right. Sir Bocek, I need to speak with you for a moment.
A man hardly puts his cup to his lips and someone comes along to put a flea in his ear. Yobs comes up with a plan as full of holes as a beggar's shoes, and now you're all jostling to win me over for him.
On the contrary, I've come here with an idea how to improve it.
Does that improvement include a few thousand men-at-arms? If not, you can go to the devil with it.
A few thousand men-at-arms, that's a convincing argument. And 100 horsemen on top. Only in order to get them, we need coin.
You've got my attention, but not my money yet.
How can I persuade you?
I need guarantees of security. I don't want to end up like Rutard.
Of course. Once it comes to protecting property, ideals go out the window.
You can talk, since you haven't got a pot to piss in yourself. If you were in my position, you'd think differently. I have a lot of property, lots of subjects to look after, and along with that, the Lord blessed me with a large family. I can't risk it all in a conflict with Sigismund.
So you need guarantees that you won't be left standing in the cold if you openly oppose Sigismund.
My guarantee is called Yitka. She's my niece. If I succeeded in marrying her off to another strong house, I'll have the certainty that I won't be left alone.
Maybe it's enough to find a suitable groom among the allies.
Perhaps someone of suitable standing who Yitka would also gladly accept. I don't want her to be unhappy.
How about young Lord Capon?
He's a youngster still.
What's wrong with him? He's young, he's handsome, women are fighting of him. Yitka will like him, and he'll give her a whole bunch of children.
And to half the wenches in his domain too, eh? On the other hand, the Lords of Lipa have a good reputation, and Hanush can always be relied on, despite his temper. Maybe it's not such a bad idea.
I'll convey your offer to Lord Capon. If he agrees, we can celebrate our lives.
I don't care what the young lord thinks. Hanush is the one to decide. If he agrees, I'll be happy to support your plan.
pushing a friend to tie the knot to save the kingdom. Things have come to a pretty pass.
The kingdom will not forget his sacrifice. Now stop dilly-dallying and go and tell Hanush.
Sir Hanush, I bring happy tidings.
You do? Let's hear it then.
Young Lord Capon is going to get married.
If he's got some impoverished noble's daughter pregnant, I'll have his hide. I'm not going to support some bastard.
You misunderstood my meaning. I was the one who arranged the betrothal. I mean, with your blessing.
You arranged a marriage for my ward? Just like that? With who?
With the niece of Sir Butchek, Lord of Kunstadt. Her name's Yitka.
Butchek of Kunstadt? The Butchek of Kunstadt? Godwin, you conniving old bastard!
Oh, fuck.
I don't believe it. So, young Hans is to marry Kunstadt's daughter?
Niece.
If you're serious, I'll make sure that you get the Rattay parish.
Or you could make me the abbot of Sassa. Or what about a bishopric?
Forget it. Soon I'll be paying for a wedding. Not a word to Hans. I want to tell him myself. But let's drink to it, shall we?
Cheers!
Cheers to you, and to your parleying skills.
Sir Butchek, your niece Yitka can start preparing for her wedding.
So Hanush agreed, without reservations.
Indeed.
Then I will fulfill my end of the bargain without reservation.
Thank you, Lord of Kunstadt.
Enough formality. We'll have a drink. What do you say?
Cheers to the beautiful Lady Yitka and the unhappy Lord Capon.
Here's to a good bargain.
And he's setting us.
May I have a word with you, sir?
You? Anytime. With you, at least, there's some sensible conversation. Unlike this pack of conceited upstarts.
Young Lord Capon is finally free again. Let's hope he'll take better care of himself now.
He got a harsh lesson. But at least he might remember to lay off that tomfoolery of his for a while. But if not, war will make a man of him soon enough.
Do you think there's really going to be a war? I mean a proper one, not just sitting around and talking about it.
I sincerely hope so. Whoever sits around risks nothing. It's time to get off our asses and take action.
remember well how the burghers in Moravia fared in the last war.
The wrong side. Wasn't it the Lords of Krishna? No great loss out of it. It wasn't that good anyway.
Yourself. It was war back then. Now we're allies.
Thanks. Allies? Aren't you more concerned about... the spoils of war, Sir Botcher?
I beg your pardon.
Another war wouldn't suit you so well.
Because of the life.
Greetings, friend. Greetings to you, friend.
God be with you, noble lady. There's something I'd like to ask of you.
God be with you. What would that be?
Your diplomatic support. And your money.
No beating around the bush, eh? I like that. But what do you want my money for?
Margrave Yob's plan has some gaps, milady. We need to gather enough resources to...
To muster an army that Margrave can't afford on his own?
Christ. Be praised. You're astute.
I should say so. All sorts of people have their eyes on my money, and divining their intentions is a necessity. Although, between the two of us, it isn't hard to figure out what Liechtenstein is after.
Hit the nail on the head again, Mom. You're well informed.
I am rarely mistaken.
I'd say you have a better nose for people than most of this crowd.
Not only for people, but also for good food and wine. And beneficial deals.
Then you're in the right place. This occasion provides all of those things.
The wine here is average. The cooks lack imagination. And I have yet to hear any interesting offers. So, to the point. What is it that Liechtenstein wants from me?
Nothing more than support and resources for an army to parley more effectively with Sigismund.
Nothing more? I'd say that's plenty. And why ask me for help? Why should I, of all people, take the risk?
It's not only your money we're interested in. You're well able to negotiate and trade. And if you were to take part in our plan...
Then I'd be helpful to you on two fronts. If you want me to support you, you must give me a good reason. Perhaps a favor in return.
Do you have something in particular in mind?
Well, one of the guests here has something that shouldn't get into the wrong hands.
Who's that?
Haman Alder. Now, if you were to switch these papers for the ones he brought with him, I would support your proposal.
All right, I'll help you. Or at least I'll give it a try.
Alder will surely have the papers in his saddlebags, which he left in the shed on the outer courtyard. Bring them to me, and put these there instead. But watch yourself. Odorim's groom has eyes everywhere.
What brings you here? My goodness, friend. You're completely sloshed.
I just need to get something from the shed. You know what? Take this here. And you saw nothing, all right?
And what's there to see?
Not a sausage. I've got those papers from Alder for you.
Quiet! You don't have to announce it to everyone.
Lady, with all the clamor going on here, I can hardly hear my own thoughts. Here they are.
You're more capable than I expected. Thanks for the help.
You're welcome. And now you're part of the bargain.
As agreed. I will support Liechtenstein's proposal with both words and money.
Thank you, noble lady. God will...
Yes, quite. But let's drink to our bargain, Godwin.
How could I refuse a toast with such a fine lady? To your health, Lady Anna.
And to the success of our efforts.
I'm still hoping it works out, and we walk out of here with a...
Gentlemen, I think we can raise our goblets to the successful conclusion of the negotiations.
Is this supposed to be your secret weapon?
Like I said, miracles happen where you least expect.
I think we can raise our goblets to the successful conclusion of the
Tell me, Godwin of the
This
House of
supposed to
Odorin,
be your secret
what
weapon?
news do you bring us? Like
I
said,
bring nothing from the House of
miracles
Odorin.
happen where you least expect.
But the widow of Waldstein and Sir Bojek of Kunstad will support our cause.
Both of them. Good heavens, what did you promise
Tell me,
them?
This
Godwin
is
of
going
the
to be a
House of
long
Odorin,
story, and I
what
could use a
news do you bring
drink.
us?
So if you'll excuse me, my lords. But the widow of Waldstein and Sir Bojek of Kunstad will support our cause.
Both of them. Good heavens, what did you promise them?
This is going to be a long story, and I could use a drink.
It would seem that we have all benefited from the break in these proceedings. New alliances have been formed. And I have also changed my plans. We shall still wait for Sigismund to withdraw his troops of his own accord. It would seem that we have all benefited from the break will in these wait proceedings. With an army at our backs.
And how are we to raise an army? Wasn't it made clear at the meeting that no one wants to take the risk?
The only thing made clear was that each of us alone is weak, and that we could not find common ground. But that has now
How
changed.
are we to raise an army? Wasn't it made clear at the meeting that no one wants to take the risk?
King Wenceslas is, by the will of God, the Barbatim of all his subjects. Not only the Christians, our community, and not only ours. They'll give you coin.
The Kuttenberg houses are still loyal to King Wenceslaus, and we stand with Lord Ruthard.
And if that's not enough, the houses of Leipa and Kunstadt will unite and march side by side.
My niece, Yitzka, will take young Lord Capon as her husband.
Unite and march side by side.
My niece, Yitzka, will take young Lord Capon as her husband.
Lords Kunstadt, Hanush, Radzig, and I will set out immediately. God willing, we will be back within 3 weeks, along with an army.
Now those are words worthy of a nobleman.
My friend, I still believe that words are more powerful than swords. And our words will ring in 1,000 voices to the glory of King Wenceslas!
After we conquered the city, you promised to restore order immediately. And then I find out things are even more disordered than before.
Your Majesty, we are sorry. We will put it to rights.
You've already said that. I want to hear real solutions.
We will put more guards on the roads and toughen penalties. We can have a few captured bandits executed as an example to others.
We do not care about bandits. We care about rebellious nobles and burghers. What will you do with them? How will you solve the chaos in the town administration, the rebellious miners, and the dismal yields? And how is it even possible that a rebellion against the king is smoldering here in the city?
What do you mean, sire?
I hear the resistance is coming from the Jewish quarter, from right under your noses. Why haven't you done anything?
We don't know who is behind this. Without evidence, we cannot punish them.
Otto von Berghoff did not ask questions in Prague either. He acted. And I advise you to do the same. Why haven't you done? Find a couple of wretches in a hole somewhere. Point them to the Jewish quarter and give them free rein to do anything. The city's Jewish community was and still is on Wenceslas' side. They need a warning.
We do not even have enough men to...
Marquardt, could you spare a few men for a while?
Of course, sire. I'll assign them to Eric. He'll take care of it.
So you see, all you have to do is make sure the city rebel get their share. You could at least manage that, couldn't you? And if the thought should cross your minds that you would get rid of the debts to the Jewish moneylenders this way, forget about it. Your debts will remain, up to the last groschen. Only now you owe us directly. And while we are on the subject of money, has the yield from the mines finally matched last year's?
Sire, the deposits are dwindling, and mining is becoming increasingly difficult. And to make matters worse, the miners started rebelling.
Don't take us for a fool. They'll stop rebelling when you pay them proper wages.
Your Majesty, we can't do that.
Silence! How dare you oppose the kingdom's protector? You're a bunch of incompetent sycophants! Chicken shits! Not any better than the scum hiding in the forest.
And drunks! Give them hell! Lazy fools, the lot of them!
How dare you?
Some of you are even swelling right here in the city council meeting. This is unbelievable.
Remove this swillpot from the hall immediately.
I'm telling the truth. This whole council is a farce. The whole city knows it.
Lord of Sargents, your insolence just cost you your place on the council and a month in the dungeon.
But
hopefully that'll be enough for him to sober up. And if not, put him in the pillory for a while, bailiff.
I'll see to it as soon as the council is over, Your Majesty.
All I hear from you over and over again are excuses and prevarication. And results? None. I therefore placed the city council under the authority of Sir Marquardt von Aulitz, who is present here, with immediate effect. He will make sure you finally do your duty.
But, sire, that would be a violation of the privileges granted to us as a free mining town.
Silence! I am the only guarantor of your rights. You have to earn your privileges, not hide behind them. During my brother's reign, this idleness was perhaps tolerated. But that is over now. You were given a few simple tasks. But instead of working on them, you idled in the baths and lined your pockets. And let the traitors cast their nets undisturbed. But unlike my brother, I am capable of creating order. And I assure you, I do not distinguish between those who stand in my way. Be they beggars, noblemen, or city councillors. You have 2 weeks to restore order in the city and increase mining output. I want clear results, and you answer only to me and Sir Marquardt von Aulitz now. No one else. Nobleman or city councillors. You have 2 weeks to restore order. The council is dismissed. You, don't go anywhere, boy. Be so kind and remain here. Our throat has become rather dry. And we still wish to speak with our friend von Aulitz.
Yes, sire. As you wish, sire.
Be so kind. Between the two of us, Marquardt. Our throat. Was I not perhaps too harsh on rather dry? And we still wish to speak with our friend von Aulitz.
Yes, sire. As you wish, sire.
And speak candidly. We have had enough of false flattery.
Sire, you are harsh, but rightfully so. These councillors, they need to be shown their place. You suffered their insolence for far too long. And the same is true.
We have had enough of false flattery. We know. Otto repeated to us several times that it is time to strike against them. We are glad he's not here. He would be intolerably self-satisfied. He knew we had heeded him.
Boy, can't you see the King's cup is empty?
You tend to us as if we were infirm. Boy, pour us a monastic wine. We have concerns, friend. The Hungarians are rebelling. Our army is falling apart, and we have enemies here on all sides. Would we had a proper army instead of human mercenaries? They cannot be relied upon. And we are no closer to our goal now than a few months ago. The Hungarians are rebelling. Thank you. Our army is a good year. If our father were still alive, he would have been astonished by the mess that a few years of Wenceslas' reign brought to us. With a single word, he would have put the nobility in their place, and the country would flourish. God grant him eternal glory.
We won't need much more time. We'll arrest the traitor Odorin, and the rest will fall in line.
With a single word. You say the others will be brought into line, but what do you know of them? We know only a few of them. But there's a fortress standing on every damn hill here. What side are their lords on?
We'll find out soon enough, sire.
If only Wenceslas were not such a stubborn ass, and relinquished that throne that he has no use for anyway. The nobility, on the other hand, found a ruler like him very useful. They made a puppet out of him.
Once you restore order, they'll join you. All you have to do is promise them the privileges they lost during Wenceslas' reign.
First, they'd have to be willing to make peace at least among themselves. Jobst does everything he can to sow chaos, so that he himself emerges victorious in the end. This business makes me thirsty. Pour me some of that red, boy.
I think Jobst is just waiting for the right moment. He'll switch sides.
Maybe. But first I'll have to conquer a few more cities, and get a couple more lords on my side. Then they take the threat more seriously. And Hungary. If Bohemia is a wasp nest, then Hungary is a viper's lair, maybe.
You will follow in his footsteps, sire, as soon as you get the chance.
But the wine is good here, and Hungary. To your health. Bohemia is a wasp nest, then Hungary is a viper's lair, maybe.
You will follow in his footsteps, sire, as soon as you get the chance.
And to your health too, boy. May your children grow in the land ruled by a good king.
Thank you, sire. You are too magnanimous.
Why? You did a good job. You can be proud of yourself.
To your health, your majesty.
May your children grow in the land ruled by a good king.
Thank you, sire.
First, we need to crack down on the biggest troublemakers.
We're working
You did a
on
good
it.
job.
While the consul was meeting, Otto von Berghoff and his men set out for Rabosch. Alderin won't give you any more trouble.
He and Ruthard are in it together. First, once we get Odalin, we can handle Ruthard easily. Rabosch will be yours.
Consul was meeting.
After all, Otto has already got Malishov.
I appreciate your confidence, sire.
But the devil knows there are a lot more strongholds to conquer here.
For the king, red wine, boy.
No, we shall have white. We have had trouble. Otto has
White it is. Quickly. Rabosch falls. Others will follow.
I think von Berghoff's little contraption will find its use again.
Red wine. We could use it to raise this town hall too. And I have some suggestions for other candidates.
Not so fast, my friend. It's a wondrous tool, but we can't rely on it forever.
To bring it here to the square and point it at the city hall? Those sycophants would only benefit from a warning like that.
It's a splendid idea, but it won't be necessary. The councillors are quite fearful enough already that they can hide nothing from us.
There's been enough fretting, sire. You shall see. Soon we will drink to the conquest of another fortress.
You are right. So then, to victory. And you, boy, will you drink with us? So that you shall have something to tell your children and grandchildren.
You shall see. Soon we will drink to the conquest of another fortress.
To victory, sire.
To today's, and those of the future. And you, boy, will you drink with us? So that you shall have something to tell your children and grandchildren.
You shall see. Soon we will drink to the conquest of another fortress.
To victory, sire.
To today's, and those of the future. And you, boy, will you drink with us? So that you shall have something to tell your children and grandchildren.
There are 9... Look, the
Margaret Lock. Didn't you say the Lord Constance?
The name is unpronounceable.
There are knights. Look. And Margaret Lock. So what?
Chevalier d'Arrête.
I bet you made it up to me.
Begging to be eaten.
I couldn't resist you either. The sausage is what was.
You in need of something, my well-oiled friend.
I'd like to drink a toast with you to our joint success. As they say, all's well that ends well. So, to brighter tomorrows.
Touching.
Come now. What's become of your poetic soul?
I never had one.
Truly? Not even a little?
Oh, maybe once. The older I get, the worse it is. Give me a few more years and I'll become a professional mourner.
See now. I'll gladly drink to that with you. Only there's nothing to drink. We've run dry.
Fuck. I've got a tongue like a slice of weak old bread after all that gabbing.
Well, get something wet for us then.
His lordship is so unsteady on his legs, he can't make it as far as the keg.
To hell with that keg slop. Your father surely has something better stored away. I had my eye on him all evening. He had pictures brought from somewhere for himself and his closest friends, and left the rest of us to drink cheap dregs. Try and find me one of those pictures for us, eh? I'm sure you can manage that.
You can bet on it. I've got a nose for booze.
I don't doubt it. Get sniffing quick. And left the rest of us to drink cheap dregs.
So you see, best thing we could do is stay right here. Not the first to end up like that. That's our meeting.
Himself. And then you will wake up in a ditch somewhere with a mighty hangover.
A bunch of girls? Or the piglet?
Forgive me every transgression which I have committed this day, and deliver me from every craft of my enemies. May I not ever identify any sin.
Men can trample over us one after another.
Himself.
Rich bride with a fat dowry is going to take the thorn out of his side, right?
He won't even know what to do with it. The sword is purely ornamental.
That's right. The likes of him live only for hunting trips and visiting the bathhouse wenches.
Maybe true.
Any debate going on around it. What does it matter?
We reached an agreement, but it's going to take time. It's calling out to me, begging to be eaten.
Excuse-moi. Half of the French court knows me by that name.
Well, you're not in France now. Here, nobody knows.
About the girls or the piglet?
Stulturem mater, sempiter gravida.
Oh no, entertainment too.
Poor sod over there.
I'm filled with grief.
How'd you like her wine, Chevalier?
The art of winemaking. Recipes are passed on. I myself was practically raised on wine. How many I have tasted. Even the French royal court took note of my refined taste. The king himself had wine delivered for his table according to my advice. Practically raised on wine. How many I have tasted.
No one's forcing you to drink it. At least there'll be more left for us uncultured plebs.
Indeed. En tout cas, judging by Baron Vaku Voku.
Barely stand. And just stand over that ditch. You just fall in.
At least you can swim.
I drowned. So you see?
So what? They left a long time ago. I swear to God, I saw him here a little while ago. He was sneaking around with the widow of Bartosz.
With Anna of Waldstein?
Aye, that's the one. What's old Kunstad doing with that frump?
Don't talk about Let's drink to that.
To King Wenceslas. Othering maybe an old pinch person.
Kunstad doing with that frump?
Prost was calling out to me, begging to be eaten.
The name. And we're not talking about a horse, but a cock.
Look at him.
But you can hardly stand straight, Martin.
But if you've got a different idea about a horse is, then we'll have to discuss it.
Do you get it, Father? You are as filled with grief.
The day he's scrubbing that floor.
Talking bollocks. Once he obfuscated an army, he'll sit himself and run back to Hungary.
What kind of name is Bruce Phallus, anyway? It's pronounced Bucephalus. What kind of name is Bruce? It's pronounced Bucephalus.
rat'll be good, I hope. The rat'll be good.
Now there's a piece of horseflesh for you, Rudart. Not like that nag of yours.
What the hell do you feed it with? It looks more like a damn bull.
Sir! Sir! There's some horsemen right out front of your fortress.
There's a piece of horseflesh for you, Rudart. That's Peter of Pisac. Wouldn't come to the council, but he is coming happily to the celebration, you old fox.
Come on in, sir. There's wine aplenty.
Come to the council, but he is coming happily to the celebration, you old fox.
Hey! Hey! Intruders! Enemies at the gates!
Seize the nobles! Kill the rest!
Jesus! They're surrounding Christopher! He can't make it on his own! Let's go!
You'll be fucking sorry!
Go to hell!
One step back! Stand your ground!
I'll beat you to a bloody pulp.
Back him on the right! Now you're finished! Back him on!
I'll beat you to a bloody pulp.
I should go back. I should go back. go back.
Light him up!
Hey, I need a hand here.
I'm just getting warmed up, you shit! That won't work for me!
He's had it. He's had it.
You swipe!
He's had it.
Smash him on the head!
I took him down. Don't expect any absolution from this guy.
He's had it.
That was a close shave.
A little too close. Fuck me. Did my eyes deceive me? Henry!
Godwin!
How did you get...
Damn. I can't tell you how happy I am to see you. You turned up at just the right moment.
Is everyone alright?
Some are, some aren't.
They captured Oder and Kunstad and Rutard. And they took Alder and Kunrad of Vector away too.
They wanted to slay the rest like dogs.
What about my father? And Hanush?
They left with Yobs long before that. I'm sure they're all right, but not everyone was so lucky.
And they took Alder and Kunrad of Vector
I tried to come as soon as possible and warn you, but von Bergov's people beat me here.
You knew he was coming. They left with Yobs long before that. I'm sure they're all
Markvart bragged about it to Sigismund, and Sigismund promised to make him Lord of Raborsh in return.
When he sees what von Bergheim did with it, he'll shit himself.
You find that funny? Do you like watching those foreigner dogs rampaging around and slaughtering innocents? Who else has to die before we do something about it?
Tell us about it. We were neck deep in corpses before you bothered to turn up.
Well, not you.
Fuck you, Jan. I'd trade places with you in a heartbeat. Trust me.
We've lost a lot of allies. We'll have trouble finding new ones. They'll be afraid to even peep against Sigismund.
Well, are you surprised?
Well, not you.
Look around. Sigismund showed everyone what's coming for all who resist him.
We've lost a lot of allies.
Is there anything we can do?
Definitely not right now. We'll treat the wounded, bury the dead, get the hell out of here. Then we'll hide in the Devil's Den and wait for Jobst and his army.
If I survive the journey... Oh, God's teeth. That stupid nag nearly broke me in half.
Right now. We'll treat the wounded, bury the dead, get the hell out of here. Then we'll hide in the Devil's Den.
What am I supposed to do? Can I help somehow?
You've done enough, don't you think?
And I'm sure Liechtenstein can't wait to find out what was discussed at the city council.
The king announced one more thing at the council. He asked the councillors to ransack the Jewish quarter. That is, he ordered it, more like.
Fuck! Liechtenstein's got his people there. They could reveal a lot.
The city rabbi is sitting upstairs in the hall. At least he's safe here.
They're our allies. We have to help them.
What do you mean by we? Everyone here is lucky to be still breathing. I can just see them all jumping to their feet and rush to save their poor Jews.
Maybe Samuel will figure something out. He wanted to talk to you anyway.
He's here too.
Aye, escorting the rabbi. You should go and see them as soon as possible. And tell Liechtenstein too.
Anyway, we've got work to do. Godwin?
Give me a moment. I'll go and see Christopher first. Guard the walls until morning. If anyone shows up, I want to know about it. I'll be with Christopher.
They put enough arrows in him anyway.
I don't know. I'll see Christopher first. Guard the walls until morning. If anyone shows up, I want to know about it. I'll be with Christopher. Bolting out the gate.
Good to see you both. Alive.
Oh, come on. You know, I've walked out of much worse scrapes laughing.
They could well have killed us all. If it hadn't been for you, Henry, von Berkhoff could have caused a lot more harm.
Good to see you both. Alive.
Oh,
even a man like you can't know everything.
Out of much worse scrapes
At least you're all alive.
Well, not all of us. They killed Lady Anna of Volstein and many other nobles. It was slaughter.
And they captured our closest and most influential allies. Without them, we can hardly get the burghers on our side.
Not all of us.
We're stuck.
They killed Lady
We'll figure out a way to help them.
But how? Our plans are ruined.
Get a grip. Whining doesn't help anyone.
You're right. When I drink too much wine, I get overwhelmed with self-pity. Nevertheless, I have to admit it can't get much worse.
Actually, it might. Very soon. At Sigismund's council, an order was given to ransack the Jewish quarter.
God's wounds! We need to get back to the city and warn them. I'm going with you. Out of the question. Do you want to end up imprisoned again? You'll be more useful if you stay here and help Shishka. Henry, tell Samuel and the rabbi to get ready to travel. I'll try to get someone else to join. God's wounds! We need to get back to the city and warn them. I'm going with you. Out of the question. Do you want to end up imprisoned again? You'll be more useful if you stay here and help Shishka. Henry, tell Samuel and the rabbi to get ready to travel. I'll try to get someone else to join.
You're right. But I still...
Sam, I need to have a word with you.
Uh-huh. That makes two of us.
Just tell him. You may not get another chance.
I talked to Godwin. He said you know each other?
What did you talk about? I need to have a word with me.
We talked about your stepfather, Martin.
Why? Neither of you knew him.
It's true, I did not. But I tried many times. I talked to Godwin. Remember how I stared at your sword when we first met? I recognized the Master's symbol engraved there. Well,
why?
The thing is,
Neither of you knew him.
I am Martin's son.
What? Pa's son? How did...
Yes, his son. That is, his bastard son. The thing is...
Are you sure? We look the same age, and... Martin lived with me and Ma as long as I can remember.
When I was born, he was already long gone. Maybe we are not even a year apart.
What does that make us then?
Nothing. Proof perhaps that both your god and mine have a sense of humor. You know, all my life, I thought if I did not give a shit about that man, it would be easier. Now that I know I will never see him, it troubles me that I did not get to know him. Proof perhaps that both your god and mine
I'm sorry.
have a sense of humor. You know,
But now you need to pull yourself together. This is not the end. We have to go to Kuttenberg, now. Sigismund ordered confiscation of the property of people in the Jewish quarter.
The king has approved Xere.
He's no king to me. He's a fucking whoreson.
Sorry. Now you need to pull yourself together. This is not the end. Do you think it's really going to be that bad? Now. Isn't it just scaremongering?
Wake up, Henry. That rabble is capable of anything. It would not be the first time. They would pillage their own neighbors if they could. But if they do it to us, they will not be punished.
This is what we were afraid of. But we did not expect Sigismund to be in such a hurry. We need to get back into the city and get the people out, quick, before it begins. Will you come with us, Henry? Every man counts.
I'll come. And Liechtenstein already knows about it too.
Very well. We should get going right away.
Let's not waste time.
Will you come with us, Henry? Every man counts.
I'll come.
Thank God you're all right. On the way here, I saw Sigismund horsemen and feared the worst.
Kubienka? What brings you here?
Well, I heard you were having some kind of a feast here, so I came to grab a bit of meat. And I see, instead of that, you have a massacre here.
Well, the real massacre is yet to come if we don't do something fast. We have to get to Kuttenberg. Can we borrow the wagon you arrived on?
But of course. I borrowed it too, if you know what I mean, but...
Could you stop blabbering already? We don't have the time.
Easy, Ingele. And you, sir, if you can, come with us and help us.
All right. But could you please tell me what the fuck is going on?
I'll explain to you on the way. Time is running out.
Are you coming too, Sir John?
Of course.
And you, sir, if you can, come
Let's go then.
Borekata Adonai Eloheinu, Melech Haolam.
I'll explain to you on the way. Time is running out.
Are you coming too, Sir John?
Of course. Let's go then.
Borekata Adonai Eloheinu,
Time is running out.
Are you coming too, Sir John?
Peresh, can we go? Any fast?